Good morning, good afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. This is a short demo of the Sensing Clues platform, which all is centered around Central. The first thing you can do, of course, is to create an account if you don't have one, or you can log in if you do have one, and then you are in Central. First of all, you get a few tips. You can walk through the tips, but the first one, which is important, is that you have to start with My Groups. All information in Sensing Clues platform is organized in groups. You can call them projects or data sources, and that is where you find your information. And that's also where you find who has access to that information. So let's start from there. I first start with my groups. I've got a long list of groups. And if I look at this group, my demonstration project, I can double click it or open it with my marker, and then I can start configuring my group. So here I define with whom I'm working, for example, with a number of rangers or biologists or community workers. I can define what kind of tracks they are walking or using to track their activities in the field. And I can also define what kind of observations they will be recording. So if they are biologists or they are rangers in the field, they might be involved in recording the movements of reptiles or birds, and they want to record something about the health of that animal, or when they are deceased, how they died. And all these are just one click from moving them from the left to the right. And if you are satisfied with your group configuration, you save it, and then it will be available in the Cluey app, which is very similar to any other app that you can use in the field to collect information online and offline. I can save it, and now it's a fact for everyone within my group. I can also organize community work around here. So we have beneficiaries, which we work, the people that we work with, children, farmers, households, and so on. Subjects that we cover, and there's a long list of subjects. And if you miss your subject here, just give us a shout and we'll add it. And of course, there's also activities that we deploy with them. So there's demonstrations, there's game drives, there might be provisionings, and so on. And then next to that, you can record information which is quite often important about how many of them were a man or children or women. What was the goal of your maybe meeting, and what came out of it. So all of it can be easily managed around here, and you can do that for as many groups as you like. And you can also look at who are in your group. So this is in the active Cluey demonstrator group, which I can also check and change here. And then I see those people are members and what kind of role they have. And I can see there's also a few members in other groups that I'm participating in. So that's my groups. Those groups, of course, they are collecting data. And that data can be verified and edited in the observation list. We call all the things they record observations. So I can look here quickly through all of them. I can search and filter them by, let's say, only the animal sightings, only community work, and I can also do it by type. So we distinguish between notes that people record in the field, not urgent, to alerts are urgent, and there could also be other types of information, for example, information that was uploaded or surveyed with ODK, or a trigger if you are working with sensors, a task, or intelligence. So the important thing here is all the information that people record in the field with the Cluey application, the Cluey data collector. You can look at it here and you can edit it. And if you edit it, you can change or look at the time that it was recorded. Usually I wouldn't change this because this was recorded by the people in the field. You can look at the location where it was. You can then maybe add some information here that you think was needed to add. Or maybe if you say, I want to add some information about a person, or I want to add some general information that was not yet provided, you can add that right here. Or provisions that were given, then the provisions are, for example, we provided them with 6 beehives or 4, and then I save it. And then I can add documents, like PDF documents, proof of the meeting, including minutes or maybe the list of attendances. I can add photos and I can have a similar look and save it. Now the information is updated. Important here is that you now have an edit history, so you know exactly who changed the information from what into what else. So that's important for verification purposes. So you have an audit trail of what happened with your data. Apart from that, you can look at the images that were collected in the group. You can switch between groups and then see quickly what else in terms of images. Of course, this is a lot of testing images, not very interesting, but it gives you a very fast way of looking at it. Open the observation to where it was on the map, or the details of who recorded it. You can also download it or share it. So it's another way of approaching and through your data, sharing it with people that are interested in that data. You can manage map layers. It's a premium feature. You can add map layers by adding them as a GeoJSON, uploading them. You can draw your own polygon, or if you have walked a nice perimeter track, for example, around a forest that was burned, then that track can be used also to create a polygon to do your reporting map layers. If you are tracking in the fields, then sometimes the tracks are not clean. You've got outliers. You've sometimes got people that started too early or forgot to switch it off. So track cleansing is an important feature to make sure that your data is clean. And if we go to, let's say this one, then you can see this is a track that was quite nice. But if you think it's not good, you take the scissor and then you say, let's adjust the start. I move it a bit, and let's adjust the end. I move it a bit, and I also remove an outlier because this one is next to the road, so this one should be deleted. So I remove that point. I can see the original length was 554 meters, and now after saving, it's a bit smaller. So this helps you to keep your data safe and clean and ready for processing later. Some data is not collected with Cluey, but maybe from history or from other systems, and then you can export it as a CSV or have it recorded in a spreadsheet. Then we got a wizard which allows you to import all those tabular data sets. So you choose your data set, you choose what type of information we talk about, and then you walk through a wizard that allows you to map each column to a field within the Sensing Clues platform and save it. The same is true with ODK Survey. You can run ODK Survey from ODK, but we also have implemented an ODK server within the Sensing Clues platform. So you can log into that, look at the projects that you are entitled to, because you will not see all the projects that I'm seeing here. And let's say that this is your project with schools, and you want to register a new school, then this is what already was submitted. I can add a new submission. I can also correct and connect data from others. This is exactly the same configuration from ODK as you will find on ODK Cloud, but this one is connected with us, with the Sensing Clues platform. If you are ready with your survey, so the survey date is closed, and you want the data to be imported in the platform, you can start a wizard here, which is also something that we will do collaboratively with you to import the data. So we log into this survey again. We can load the submissions. We can look at them in a table to see if they are all correct. We can also do the same quickly in looking at the form in the same way as people saw it when they were responding to the survey. So that could be done with ODK handheld application or a web interface like you just saw. Once you are satisfied with this data, then you can upload it to a new group. So you just specify here the name of the group. Remember, all the data that we collect in Sensing Clues platform is stored in groups, which are managed as a data source. So that is also done here. And once you uploaded it, you are ready. If you have information about Lat Long, the location, then you can select it from a column. If you don't, you can pick it from a map, and then that location will be used for all the surveys that you are submitting. You can do it like this. And now it's for this first record only, but you can also say, no, apply this coordinates for all records. And now it's done. And then I upload. I won't do that here. Other data that you can upload, which is not shown here, but which is automatically configured, is camera trap data. We work with Animal Detect. That is a very nice and powerful platform for analyzing images that you collect with camera traps. And then the results can be imported into the SenseClues platform in a very similar way as the import of tabular data. And you always keep your references there. You will also see a short, small thumbnail of the image of maybe a monkey or a baboon, and then and use it for your reporting. So let's have a look at reporting as well. You've got maps and reports, a number of standard ones. I won't go into detail about these, just click on them. You can make observation reports about anything that you recorded. You can also have patrol reports or specific community reports. We are working on a feature where we also will allow you to export your dataset to GBIF. Then in your settings and account, there's an important feature here, which we call indicator configurator. So here, with all the data you've got, you can actually create an indicator that you can use to measure success of your projects, or even higher, if you aggregate the indicators from different projects, you can use it for verification purposes with Vera, with Equitable Earth, or any other standard that you are using. So we log in here into a platform where we are maintaining the indicators, because it's quite a complex system. We can map indicator systems from one to another, but this is the list of indicators that is being used by a few projects, and that you can configure. So if we look, for example, here at a number of charcoal kilns and the bags that have been recorded in a year, then you can look at that indicator. You see what the name is of the indicator, the definition, and then with the pencil, you can use it to update that. And then you can also create the query. So let's make one which has not been created yet. This is an empty row. So we have a query configurator, and there's two types. So we are collecting data, event data, as we call it, ad hoc. You are in the field, a ranger spots something, community worker is organizing a training event, etc. That's recorded with Cluey. But if you have a structured survey, which you do periodically, maybe once a year or every other year, then you can also run a survey on ODK. And then you want to create your indicator also based on that data. So it's either one or the other. So let's say that we've got event data. In this case, just for the demo, we can do counts of events or counts of numbers. So we've got 6 elephant sightings, but the numbers, we saw 6 times 6 elephants, so it's 36 elephants. And in this case, let's look at accounts. We looked at animals, we said elephants, so we look here at mammal species, and they should, well, let's say contain an elephant. And this is all the animal species that we have. If this is the only condition I have, then I just save this. I can see it here, and I can run it also later to test it. So I saved it. And now I can use it in my reporting. So in my impact reports, this configuration is now used. And of course, it's bullocks, because this was about schools and rooms and not about elephants. But it was there now. I can quickly also vaccinations. I see there's 2 indicators about vaccinations or schools. I can quickly see what indicators are there. And if the indicator is not yet there, I can add it. All these things are available. Many of these things, I should say, are available for free. Some of them are behind a premium code. So you have, it's a paid feature. So in your settings and account, the first thing you do when you have a subscription is enter your secure codes. If you want to translate your project into another language, for example, you are working in an English environment, but you want to translate your group definitions also to French or to any other language, then we give you a translation code and allow you to translate all that. You've got your details, so your phone number maybe for alerting services. You've got preferences that you've got. You've got menu configuration, things that you are not using. You can switch them off so that your menu on the left hand is cleaner. And last but not least, you've got an address book where you can maintain a list of names of people that you would like to correspond with in the case that you have an event. Let me explain that a little bit more. Events are in your data. We talked about observations, and we could have notes, alerts, and others. Alert is an event that needs to be followed up almost instantly because maybe one of the rangers broke a leg, was bitten by a snake, or maybe there was a poacher detected in the field, or some other incident, maybe with human-wildlife conflicts. There was an elephant that was in the city, and then you have an alert. It needs to be followed up immediately to avoid further damage. So if you have alerts, in this case we've got 4, then in the operations section we have a coordination center, and in that coordination center you see the alerts as well. I can open them up, and I can also state updates. So I can say, for example, it's active, help is away. So now information is shared with everyone who has access to this system that help is on their way. And hopefully we will get a feedback that the issue is solved and that then we can close this one. So the last update is always to close this incident. As long as it's not, it's pending, nothing happens yet. If it's active, we have to follow it and make sure that it's closed, and this one is already closed. In here, we also have a feature that you can look at messages and automations. So if you have a dedicated phone number, then we can also allow alerting on WhatsApp or through SMS. And just the way we configured indicators, we can also identify and create your own automations here, where you, for example, can say, if there's an alert because a bear was spotted in town, then I want a certain number of people to receive an SMS or a WhatsApp message. And then here in the messages, you can also follow up that chain. That is, I cannot show you this because I need to include a secure code, which I'm not going to show you. But you have to believe me, behind this messages here, it looks very similar to WhatsApp. You have a list of all the messages that you exchange with your partners, and the automations is a wizard to create those automations. Any other information you want is available on the help desk. There are release notes with latest information. There's also a bit more about Central, and that is about it. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed it. You can start with creating your own account on the top right with Create My Account. You find all of this at the SenseInclude platform. So SenseInclude has a portal. If you go to the portal, then you see all the tools that are available for free to you, and Central is in the middle. You click it and you own it. Thanks a lot. That was it.